Have you ever eaten frog meat? In China, it's more than food. It's a booming billion-dollar industry. While the rest of the world sees frogs as slimy swamp creatures, Chinese farmers are breeding billions of them every year. These frogs aren't caught in the wild. They're raised on high-tech farms, sorted by size, packaged, frozen, and exported to places like Japan, the US, and Southeast Asia. China produces 3 out of every 4 frogs consumed globally. That's not random. Behind it is a system, smart breeding methods, modern farming, and massive demand. And the taste? Frog legs have become a sought-after delicacy in both street food stalls and fine dining restaurants. So how do these farms work? How are billions of frogs raised, cleaned, processed, and turned into profit? Get ready. What you'll see in the next few minutes will completely change the way you look at thousands of farmers in business. The roots of China has quietly become the frog capital of the world. In 2023 alone, the country raised over 1.5 million tons of frog meat. More than, it's not just a number. This industry fuels rural economies, fills restaurant menus, and keeps thousands of farmers in business. The roots of frog farming stretch deep into southeastern China, especially in provinces like Jiangsu, Fujian, and Guangdong. These areas are warm, humid, and filled with lakes, perfect conditions for breeding frogs on a large scale. It all starts with the breeding tanks. These water-filled tanks are where adult frogs mate. Farmers handpick strong, healthy frogs for reproduction. One female can lay up to 20,000 eggs in a single cycle. Water temperature stays steady between 24 degrees Celsius and 26 degrees Celsius, creating the perfect environment for the eggs to develop quickly and safely. After just a few days, tiny tadpoles hatch. Tadpoles are sensitive and need proper care to survive. Farmers feed them a special diet filled with nutrients that boost healthy growth. Some farms even sell excess tadpoles to generate early income while waiting for their main batch to mature. As days pass, the tadpoles slowly transform. Legs form, their tails shrink, and soon they're hopping around as young froglets, ready for the next phase of life. Once they've grown enough, froglets move to larger outdoor ponds. At this stage, the care becomes more advanced. Traditional farms try to mimic nature. They plant aquatic plants, mix frogs with rice fields, and design ecosystems that keep the frogs safe and cool. This approach reduces waste and creates natural shelter. In contrast, modern farms use controlled environments. They build circulation systems that keep the water clean and disease-free. Frogs are raised in high-density tanks, which allows better monitoring, feeding, and faster harvesting. Adult frogs have a dark side. They eat each other when food is low or when they're stressed. So feeding them enough is vital. Farmers feed frogs 2 to 3 times daily. Their diet includes insects, worms, and protein-rich pellets. These specially formulated feeds contain the right mix of vitamins, protein, and nutrients that help frogs grow fast without attacking each other. Some large-scale farms use automatic feeders. These machines drop food at set intervals, reducing labor and keeping feeding consistent across all tanks. After 2 to 3 months, frogs are ready for harvest. By this point, each frog weighs between 0.45 to 2.8 kilograms, depending on the breed. Harvesting isn't done randomly. Farmers use special nets to scoop frogs without hurting them. The process has to be fast but gentle, or the frogs can get bruised and lose value. Once harvested, frogs go to a sorting station. They're grouped by size and quality. The best ones are either sold directly or moved to processing facilities for further cleaning and packaging. Inside the plant, workers wash the frogs using high-pressure water. Every bit of dirt and bacteria must be removed to meet health regulations. Then comes the skinning process. Workers peel off the skin by hand and remove unnecessary parts. After that, the frogs go through a second rinse, often in cold water or lightly salted water, which helps preserve freshness and cleanliness. Now comes the cutting step. Frogs are processed based on market demand. Some are kept whole, others are cut into legs or chopped into smaller pieces. Everything depends on where the meat will be sold. Once the frogs are prepped, they enter a quick freezing machine that drops the temperature instantly. This locks in moisture, texture, and flavor. Proper freezing also helps the meat last longer, especially when shipped to international markets. Finally, frog meat is vacuum sealed, labeled, and packed into boxes. Each batch goes through quality checks to ensure it meets international food safety standards. The packaged frog meat is now ready for distribution. Some of it stays in China, but a huge portion is exported to countries like Japan, South Korea, the US, and Europe, where frog legs are considered a premium delicacy. Frog meat isn't a novelty in China, it's a staple. With high protein, low fat, and low cholesterol, frog meat fits into modern diets while still offering rich flavor. The texture is often compared to chicken, but it has a softer, slightly sweeter taste. That's why frog meat shows up in a wide range of Chinese dishes, from street food to banquet halls. These dishes combine heat, spice, and aroma. They're served in homes, roadside restaurants, and even luxury hotels. Across cities and villages, frog meat has become a familiar taste, not an exotic one. With millions of tons produced every year, frog farming has become a key source of income for thousands of Chinese families. It's especially vital in rural areas where traditional farming doesn't pay as well. A single modern frog farm can earn tens of thousands of dollars per month, especially if they scale up production and tap into the export market. Who knew frogs could play such a big role in one country's economy, culture, and China? China's frog farming industry is a perfect mix of tradition, innovation, and global ambition. It's not only feeding millions, but also creating opportunities, driving exports, and redefining how we see protein. If you enjoyed learning about China's frog farms, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. More fascinating stories about farming and food innovation are on the way. See you in the next episode.